We finally had a game, guys. We're doing something a little different. I'm dog sitting this weekend. So on top of the 2 dogs that I have, I'm dog sitting 3 more. 2 of them are real assholes. But so I wanted to tell you which team each of these dogs impersonates, basically. Let's start with Zedward. Zed is the perfect dog. He's absolute perfection in dog form. He listens, he's a little scared of things, but he's just a wonderful, elite talent. That's the Boston Bruins right there. Right, Zedward? Please focus on something. Then there's Nash. Nash is a fucking moron. Nothing going on behind those eyes at any point. He doesn't listen, but it's mostly because he's too stupid to figure out what you're trying to say. Not going anywhere fast. He's just that kind of dog. Now, I want to say I love this dog, but he's a real asshole. Dumb as a sack of bricks. This is the Montreal Canadiens type of dog. Look at the Predators collar. What a fucking moron. And then, of course, there's my baby girl, Velma. Now, Velma is elite in... Hi, Lana. Velma is elite in her own way. She's a beautiful girl, very athletic, but is prone to the occasional mistake, such as eating shit downstairs, or eating shit. She's a lot like the Florida Panthers. A lot of potential, but there's a lot of mistakes that go along with it. And out in public, she can kind of freak people out. This is Burr. Now the thing is, Burr is kind of like a mini Nash, where he doesn't listen to a damn thing you say, and he's kind of a dick. But the difference is he's smart enough to know what you're saying and why you're saying it. He just doesn't give a shit. Burr is a lot like the Vancouver Canucks. He won't listen to anything, or anyone for that matter. Analytics don't exist in his mind, and he signs people like Tucker Pullman to large deals. Okay, just a mini Canadian. See what I mean? Neither of these dogs are going anywhere quick. Both for their own reasons. Still love them though. Lana is an elite talent. Thick girl, everyone loves her, super friendly. We just can't get enough of Lana. Makes a fan out of everyone she meets. That is the Colorado Avalanche right there. So there you have it. That's what I think of these dogs. I love all of them, all 5 out of 5. That's a lot of dogs for one house right now though, and I may have bit off more than I could chew, but I love them.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is a dub. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. We're so close to 400. Guys, we finally got to play another game. That's right. The Boston Bruins played a hockey game. And instead of looking rusty and shitty and awful, we looked great. We looked great for some of it. But we kicked the shit out of the Flyers, a team I love to beat, and I know you love to beat. Ullmark gets the start. He settled in. He had some highs and lows, I thought. A lot of discourse around Ullmark these days. But he gets the start. If we lose this game to Martin Jones, who we're facing again, if we lost to Martin Jones again, I was going to do something drastic. I have been working on a functional guillotine for emergencies. Zaboral earns another game. He's going to go in Clifton's spot on the right. Clifton gets bumped, and Riley gets reinserted on that left side. Smith back in the game. He will go on the third line right wing. Kuhlman gets bumped. Bleed stays on the fourth line. And spoiler alert, has continued to be really good as a fourth line grinder. I did not see that happening this season. I thought Bleed was, well, he was what he was. We'll see if he stays. Even if this is a rotation of players that come in the fourth line, give everything they got, and get sent back down and back and up and back. So far, so good. I'm cool with it. No Steen, so you know that's not a happy peen. That was awful. Oh my God. Steen back down in Providence, kicking ass. I do want him back up. Right now, it's not an emergency. Whatever. Puck drops, and the energy is there to start. It really is. Kind of ruined. About 4.5 minutes in, Hall goes for tripping. Sucks to start a game like that when you have a couple minutes of some nice energy and then right to the penalty kill. But our penalty kill was solid. We killed that off. And then 8 minutes in, I kind of made a note of this. It's a 2-on-2. Hall has the puck and opts to pass early. And it just felt like one of those plays where normally you would try to see him beat one guy first. Hall doesn't have that confidence right now. I'm not really sure what's going on with him. Again, I'm not worried. He's still back checking really well. He's helping facilitate the puck. But I was surprised that there wasn't more to his game. About halfway through the period, we are going to go on the power play. Now, the power play has newly acquired Foligno on it now instead of Hall, and it looks great. We did not score. 12 seconds left. Pasta gets tripped. We go to 5-on-3 for 12 seconds and then have another power play. Second unit also looks good during that second power play. Nothing happens. Tons of chances, though. 6 shots combined between the 2 power plays. I really like Foligno on that top unit. He battles in the net way better than anybody else. He gets to those rebounds. He gets them back out to our guys. I like it a lot. I wanted to see it, and I like when I'm right about stuff because it doesn't happen too often. Not to be glossed over, though. 12 seconds, 5-on-3. When it dies out, Giroux gets a shorthanded breakaway, and Olmark stones him. This was huge. This changed the whole game. It's still 0-0 at the time. Shorthanded goal would have been huge for them right there, especially because we kept having the pressure. Obviously, the power plays help. Olmark had some really nice stops this game and one kind of blunder. 1:30 left in the period, and of course, we're making Martin Jones look like Patrick Waugh out there. 20th shot of the game for the Boston Bruins. It's Lazar forechecking behind the net. Bleed comes through and picks up the loose puck and backhands it into the slot. Nosek goes foot, backhand, forehand, backhand. I mix those up. Foot, forehand, backhand, flips it over Jones. That's a 1-0 lead on the 20th shot. 20th. It's not like we just chuck the puck at the net all the time. We constantly complain about our inability to shoot in good situations. I don't know how we hit the goalie so fucking much. We must give goalies the best save percentage possible at all times. It's crazy to me. Now, obviously, we scored 5 goals in this one, so that's a little different. But you know what I'm talking about. And the period's going to end 1-0. And I feel decent about that. Do I want a bigger lead? Sure. But there were some chances going the other way. They had 8 shots on net. I thought they could have scored off of 1 or 2 of them. I'll take what I can get. But then the second period starts. We're up a goal. We need to make sure that we're coming out on the right foot. Because this year, second period Bruins, not the same second period Bruins we know. The past few games, they've looked pretty decent in the second period. Marshy takes the ozone. It creates time and pressure. Puck ends up on Forbort. Yes, Derek Forbort, known Muppet. Forbort. He takes a fat slapper. Top left point. Brassard gets a stick on it. Does not. Braun gets a stick on it. It is fucking late, guys. Sorry. Braun gets a stick on it. Deflects it over Carter Hart's shoulder. That is 2-0 on a Derek Forbort goal. 3 goals. I believe that matches his totals over the last 3 years. Crazy what this guy's doing right now. Good for him. Good for him. And then 52 seconds later, it's just Flyers come back to punch in the mouth. It's puck movement. Brassard gets to a loose puck in the slot. You want someone to be on Brassard. You also want Olmark to cover this up. It's well within reach. Olmark goes to poke with a stick. You need to dive on that. You need to get in front of it. He was not tracking that puck into the slot. It's like he realized it was there and then reacted. That was a huge gaffe. And it's 2-1 because Brassard just gets to knock it in. And I've been defending Olmark today because I truly do believe he's a good goalie. And I think some of the advanced analytics, the sample size is skewing them into something that we think he's worse than he is. And then he did that. And I didn't get to argue about it anymore because it would have made me look stupid. Oh, here's a fun stat. So these are response goals directly after we score this season. Matt Porter, Twitter. 9 goals have gone in within 5 minutes of us scoring. 4 within a minute. And 7 in less than 2 minutes. I don't know what we're doing after we score, but the next shift usually sucks. 4 minutes in, and this is a brutal call. There were a lot of brutal calls both ways tonight, and people get mad at me. Bruins fans get mad at me when I'm like, I think the Bruins got the better side of this. There's a few calls that were so abhorrently bad that you went, okay, the Bruins definitely got the better side of that one. This was a bad one. Forbort pokes the puck away from Farabee, and Farabee steps into the poked stick after it already made contact with the puck and trips over it. That is not a penalty. But we kill it, so who gives a shit? 8:30 in, and Ristolainen late contact on Bergy creates a scrum. When we come back from commercial, Marchand only one in the box for roughing, or unsportsmanlike conduct, actually. Unsportsmanlike conduct. That was bullshit. And of course, they're going to score off of it. It's not bullshit because Marchand didn't deserve it. I'm sure he said or did something that deserved it. But the late contact by Ristolainen, the cross-checking and slashing back and forth by 4 different players during the scrum, I mean, that should have been offsetting, I think, in my book. That one was a frustrating one. And it ties the game. It's just good puck movement, really good puck movement. And I believe it's Brassard. Yeah, Brassard has an open net after a cross-the-slot pass. There was contact on the Bruins. They almost had it, but it chips through the sticks. It's 2-2. And I'm pissed because I don't want to lose to Martin Jones. And I hate the Flyers. 9:30 left in the period, and McAvoy and Farabee are going to fisticuffs. Fisticuffs in the same way that a duck would fight an alligator. McAvoy absolutely fucking annihilates this child. I actually felt kind of bad. It was quick, not a lot of damage done, but he just pounded him right into the ice. Done. Dunzo, gone. Is it a terrible trade ice-wise, talent on the ice? Absolutely. But shit, did it wake the team up. Under 4 minutes to go in the period, and Smith is in the neutral zone with the puck, and he whiffs on it what feels like 4 times. DeBrusk comes in, grabs the puck between his legs, takes the O-zone. It gets poked away from him, but Smith is then trailing behind DeBrusk. He collects it, has to deke through Haula, because Haula is swiping at the puck, not realizing who had it. He then cuts into the slot, drops for Derek Forbort, known Sniper Man. Forbort takes 2 strides, and just he goes glove shoulder. Just Bardowski. I don't know what Derek Forbort's doing, but I love it. Please continue to do this. And that's your score to end the period is 3-2. Derek Forbort gets the game-winning goal, by the way, for this one. And it's not even just the offense. He is looking better defensively, too. Is he still slow as fucking ice? Yes, but he's being consistent. You go, girl. I was terrified about the first 2 minutes of the third period because I just, look, we keep allowing stuff coming back the other way after we score. That one happened pretty late in the second. No, buck 30 in, Haula feeds Smith on the right side, right before the O-zone. Collects the puck. Smith collects, goes down the right wall, and just races by the Flyers defense. And from, I'd say about the dot, snipes top corner, short side. I mean, you got to have a save there, but it's Martin Jones in net. What are you expecting? That is 4-2, and it feels like the game's over right there. And the Flyers would push, and it would get nasty, but it felt like the game was over right there. 9 minutes left in the game, and the refs wanted to go home. We were actively playing with 6 players. Like, actively, for about 10 seconds. And just no call. I got really confused because I saw 3 guys on the line, like on the blue line. And I was like, wait, I thought and then it pans back and those 3 guys disappear from the screen and 3 guys are coming back. And so my brain's doing the math, right? So you got 1, 2, 3 on the blue line. You got 1, 2, 3 down the red line. And by the transitive property, that's 9 players. That wasn't even the worst refereeing moment though. 1 minute later, Carlo goes for tripping. Good call. The second face-off, if the power play, I believe, and Giroux gets called for delay of game. He's the second Flyers centerman, right? One gets bumped, and if the second guy comes in and fucks it up, then that's delay of game, right? It's very, very rarely called. It's almost like the ref decides if he wants to give you a penalty kind of call. It just never happens. But it looks like Bergeron knocked the puck out of the ref's hand on the face-off, even though I think Giroux went early. I don't know what the call was. It was delay game. McEwen served it, so you get to select who serves it. I don't know what happened. So it negates the power play. A huge power play where we're up by 2 goals. And then on the ensuing 4v4, it's a 2v1. Coyle overpasses, so the puck gets knocked away, but Pasta recovers, flings it to Zaboral. Nice little sauce on the pass. Flings it to Zaboral, and Zaboral patience beyond his years. He waits. He sees Pasta's going to get away from his defender. Comes right back into the slot. Zaboral feeds it to him, and then Pasta patience beyond his years. He holds and skates to the right, and Martin Jones kept going forward for some reason, so he just has an open net and still goes He still goes roofs. He still goes top fucking cheddar magic. That's a 5-2 lead, though. And that's your final. Game notes. Maybe this was just the crowd, because I know Bruins fans are guilty of it too at times, but this was a little ridiculous. Through the first 40 minutes, it calmed way down to the third. Through the first 40 minutes, every single time a Flyers player hit the ice, like fell down, they were screaming. The fans were screaming at the refs. They were booing, all this shit. No wonder you couldn't get a call in the third, guys. Like, what the fuck? It would be over nothing, too. I saw Flyers trips that they tripped on their own feet and they're getting booed, and yeah, and you're just like, whoa. Flyer fans, man, the passion's there. The passion's there. They did get boned on that call, though, on the face-off. I mentioned this. Forbort's not only doing the offensive stuff well, he's locking it down defensively more. Keep it going. I am still not down with him being on the first pair, but at least right now he belongs on the ice, which is way better than where I was 2 weeks ago with him. Zboril continues to be solid. That is huge. If he really becomes an NHL defenseman that we can trust, this team's dynamic changes hugely. Hugely. Secondary scoring, 11 different Bruins had at least a point. That's secondary scoring. Forbort, 2 goals. Smith, a goal. Nosek, a goal. Pasta, but he's not secondary. That's awesome. That's exactly what we need. 15 goals over 3 games. Huge. Ullmark still gives me a freaking heart attack every time he makes a save. He was not perfect in this game, but he was fine. He was solid. He really allowed 1 goal, and it was a bad one. The other one was a wide open net off of a great cross-slot pass. I can live with this performance, but if we're going to be honest, there were a lot of rebounds that, were 50-50 pucks. That could have been a lot different, I feel like, with this one. All right, guys, that does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Back tomorrow, we are hosting the Calgary Flames, who look great. Let's see if Vladar gets a net. That could be interesting. Go Bees!